All right. Welcome. Welcome to Exploring the Metaphysical. I am Mary Harrow, and I am an energy healing practitioner. And several years ago, I learned about Reiki and energy healing. And then I became interested in learning about more types of metaphysical practices. And that's why I started this forum on Zoom to bring together curious people like you who are also interested in learning and sharing about how to raise our vibrations and spread the love and light the world needs right now. In this forum, we meet a variety of metaphysicists who are trained and knowledgeable about fascinating modalities that can help us find the path to peace, healing, understanding, and ultimately love that will bring us all together, leaving chaos and dis-ease behind. So, tonight's guest is Bre Trevino. Do you use Trevino or Fitzgerald? Which one?
Trevino.
Trevino.
Fitzgerald is maiden.
Okay. So, this is ask-bre.com, and her little intro on that website is what I'm going to read to you right now, real quickly. She says, I've learned the understanding that there is much beauty in darkness and that most growth occurs during the dark experiences in which we emerge into a greater sense of self. It takes discipline, patience, and support to make changes that are life changing. My intention is to assist you, to help guide you to understand the power that you have within yourself and how much you are truly guided by the beings around you. It takes a lot of courage and strength to explore the self and face the suffering. My guides and I work closely with you to assist in healing at your pace, studying what is coming up and allowing the best solution to come forward with no expectation to outcome. I believe that within one's willingness is the pathway to freedom and empowerment of the self. And I assist my clients in obtaining and navigating that light that lives within. All it takes is for one to be willing and open to examine what is holding you back, whether you're aware of it or not. The question then really becomes, are you willing to give yourself a chance? My guides and I are here when you are ready. So Bre, welcome. Welcome to you all. And I have a couple of questions, and then we'll see where it goes from there, where the guides take us, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I was hoping you would tell us about how you came to understand your spirituality. How did it all
sure,
begin for you?
sure. So, I've always had a very extreme interest in the other side and what the other side had to offer, whether it be the deceased, spirits. And at a young age, I was very much aware of this. I come from a long line of mediums and people who actually see the dead on my maternal side. Um, I worked in business for 15 years, and in 2020, I experienced a burnout, which made my spirit, everything literally break. It shattered. And I knew then, actually, at that point, what was happening, because sometimes we just know, and that's a big piece in what I work with shamanically is bringing us back to our knowing, not our thinking, but our actual knowing. And when I discovered this and went through the medical system and was like, okay, this is what's happening. I can't, like, everything went blank. They immediately said, all right, let's get you on some antidepressants and let's get you on many different pharmaceuticals and we'll get you on your way. And I looked at them and I said, no. And they looked at me so crazy. Um, I said, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to do this. And and then I started with self-empowerment things, meetings, such as like Tony Robbins, influencers that helped you rebuild your character because I had to get strong enough. I was powerless. And that was, the shamanic piece of it. I was such in a state of power loss. I had no direction as to which to go, but to follow my intuitive sense of self, which was to rebuild. So after getting to a point of following these seminars and getting kind of on this role, I was introduced to Master Co, which was my master through pranic healing. Pranic healing is where I learned how to work with the foundational energy structures of the body, which I had no idea until I got into the shamanic realm what that was really doing for me. The different energy centers, how to work through them, how to get into them, how to almost do surgery with them. So to me, with this stepping into that, it was very quite new and it's quite interesting to me. And he's a very scientific man, right? So Master Co. And he always taught, you never go based off people's words. You always experience it for yourself. You take the information, you give it a try, you experience it for yourself, and then you make the conclusions moving forward from there on out. Fair. So I started working that, flew to LA, did all the certifications with that. Throughout that time, I was exposed or met a therapist that I had to be with. And at the time, it was COVID, right? So trying to find a therapist at that time was very difficult. I had went through pages and pages and pages, made phone calls, and I got 2 or 3 calls back, one of which was a practitioner that had shamanic background. She was one of the only ones that had availability. Synchronicity. Okay, I know I'm aligning. All right, get in touch with her. She says, hey, would you mind if we do some shamanic work? I said, oh my God, yes. I've always been drawn to this. Yes, yes, please. Where did you learn this? Berkeley. Oh, Berkeley's 20 minutes away from me. Went to that school, went through the full certification of learning core shamanic practices. A couple of years later, that wasn't enough for me. I wanted to begin studying the indigenous, the aboriginal way of things. So then I was exposed to the Andeans, the Q'ero in Peru, in which I went through the last few years and obtaining initiations and the way in which that they do things through healing. Working, of course, with the big spirits, the mountains, the animals, your own personal spirit guides, the rivers. And so then what ultimately became was this beautiful setup that I didn't realize it until I got to this point in my life of like, oh my God, look at how everything lined up. And now I could see why this was that and why that happened here and why this happened here. And I mean, throughout that time, it took extreme dedication and discipline and thorough inner investigation to go through and work through and work through and work through many states of power loss, many states of soul loss, and in which healing came forward and I was able to really move forward in many different aspects of my life. And so now I'm at the point where I work with animals, I work with humans, I work with land, I hold ceremonies, and it's just every human's different and every scenario is different. And I know that when I'm approached by an individual or an animal or someone that's having issues on land, I know that that's my assignment. And so when I am presented with my assignment, we then unpack and then we say, okay, we're going to pull a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here, and here's what we're going to work through. And we just go start to finish at your pace. Because that's all really that you can do at this point, right? Is go at your own pace. This kind of work can't be rushed. So patience and discipline is something that I learned very intensely throughout this process thus far. But that's kind of where it started. And I was baptized Catholic on top of
Great.
it early in childhood. So I have quite an array.
Yes,
Hmm.
I was there too. And I think that kind of gave birth to my love of ritual, if you want
Hmm.
to know the truth of it. But yes, I was drawn back. The minute I heard about shamanic training, I thought, oh, yes, that just calls to me. So I went through a different route, but I'm there too. So thank you for sharing that. I know I came to you through a friend who suggested I attend one of your monthly ritual events, and experienced another one last night. And I have to promote this, because you're doing a series on the 4 elements. And last night was the first, and we went to Mother Earth. And the next one is going to be
Fire.
what? Fire. Okay. When I send this video clip out, the recording out by email, I will include more information about what she's got coming up and how to reach her and that kind of thing for those who are interested. But I really am excited about the ritual, the celebration, the meditation, the journeys, and your insight. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I just have to share that. And I think, I know one of us here is also attending with me, and she's getting a lot out of it as well. So tonight, one of the most powerful aspects that you touched on already in shamanic practices is that power loss, that soul loss. There's 2 different aspects there. And shamanic healing does address those. That's things that you specifically go to shamanics for. That's what you want. And I thought we would open the podium to you for just telling us about the differences and how you experience them, and help people with that.
Sure.
You okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine. It's lovely, actually. I'm glad, because the guides are like, some people really are in need of hearing and understanding these theories. So, working shamanically is bringing things into balance, bringing things into harmony. When we are out of balance internally, it's typically because of a state of power loss or soul loss. Power loss happens when you are engrossed in a negative environment, in a negative relationship, any place where it requires you to shrink. Anywhere where you are not empowered, anywhere where someone's asking you to be less than, is considered a state of power loss. Now, in comparison to soul loss it can be a bit deeper, in my opinion. Power loss can be a part of soul loss as well. Soul loss occurs when you experience a shocking experience. It could be a car accident. It could be a death. It could be an illness. It can be anything that makes you go, ooh, and then the next day you feel different. And typically what's happening in that moment of shock is our spirit goes into shock. And that piece of us in that space and time gets left in that space and time where the shocking event took place. How does this affect anything? It can affect everything. It can affect relationships. It can affect the way that you maneuver in the world. It can affect your body physically. There's actually a process that soul loss goes through. So when you hit the shocking experience, the soul goes into shock immediately, right? Soul loss hits, boom. If you do not address that in that form, when it's in the spirit sense, because everything always happens in the spirit sense before it happens physically manifested here. If you don't go back and investigate that sense of what's happening or what took place with that version of yourself, it will begin revolving. And what happens is it begins revolving around the aura, around your auric field. And if a specific amount of time continues to go by and you just kind of continue to ignore it, it will then develop into a mental thought pattern, something you can't forget. I can't forget this. I can't forget this. And that will continue moving in that pattern as well. right? Because our thought forms are consistently moving, right? So that's why people will like all of a sudden will have that thought of like, God, I can't get that out of my head, and it'll kind of disappear, and then all of a sudden it comes back again, and then it comes back again. If you allow that to happen for enough time and don't address it at that level, rather again through healing or therapy, it will then develop into an emotion. It becomes anger, sadness, depression, irritability, and it creates a shift and a change within you. So if it continues at that level, eventually the energy will become stagnant within the vessel, within the body somewhere, that will eventually develop into dis-ease, right? Diseased energy, physical illness, ailments, cancers, anything that's really going to take you out. And so I always tell people that's actually one of the first things I will ask. They're like, man, I was never the same since I got into that car accident. I was never the same since that death took place. And it's like, okay, we're starting there. And so ultimately, what we do, depending on what kind of practice the guides feel the human is at within their energy field, if it's too intense, we will do like a traditional shamanic soul retrieval where I go into trance. We both focus on the scenario that took place. My guides then know, okay, we go back into that time, into that space. We grab the soul part. My guides will do healing, put the soul part in my body, and then I transmute it into the human. And usually within that time frame, there's a there's a release, there's a relief, and then it starts, the healing begins. And typically it's, I feel different. I'm feeling more optimistic. I'm not feeling that anymore. The guides are also telling me too as well the importance of dreams within shamanic practice and shamanic work, and how they can coincide with where your power loss or your soul loss is, or where your personal work is. So dreams is a whole nother thing, but dreams do coincide with the soul loss or the power loss. And so we just work at different avenues. And if you really like, energy is so interesting, right? It's like you can really go
Mhm.
dive, deep, deep dive into certain things, right? Certain illnesses that get carried down the family lines, certain depressions, certain feelings. And they're saying that it's important for me to mention that as well, because there's ways for us to track that as well, be able to bring healing to the lineage lines to stop what's happening so that it can move forward and the illness won't carry off into the lines anymore. So just they're like, just make sure to let them know that, lineage lines can be healed through this kind of work. Personal self. It's just a really deep dive into many different avenues and aspects of it. But the ways in which we're able to go in and heal it, it does. It takes a ton of courage for the human to come in because it's something that they have to reflect on and dig into. And there's also, they're saying, they're coming back to like the physical ailments of things. If anyone is experiencing certain ailments within the body, they're asking that you focus in on that space. And if you focus in on that space long enough, it's very likely that you're going to see a younger version of yourself sitting there. And if there is a younger version of yourself sitting there, talk to that version of yourself and ask that version what it is that he or she needs. Because that is a manifestation of soul loss that took place back whenever that took place within that person's body. So that's another way to kind of identify and investigate. And I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys. It's just the way that they're bringing it in. So I'm just releasing it as quickly as possible. But it's also tools and techniques for you guys, for us to understand that, yeah, we do hold trauma in our bodies. And if you investigate and look deep enough, you can heal it. And you can ultimately change the path in which you are to take in this life and be in harmony, right? That's what we want to do, bring things back into harmony.
Absolutely.
So that's a
Thank you.
little bit, a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, but it's resonating strongly. Yes. Very much in the line. I have a client as well who's been coming to me for a couple of weeks with um, shoulder pain. And we worked on it a little bit, and I finally realized there's something going on here. We need to focus on it. And as we did that, come to find out, sure enough, inner child is sitting right there.
Hmm.
Lots of issues going on with that inner child, so we're working through that. Yeah, so that resonated strongly with that, so thank you for that.
And
um
always asking the soul part, always asking the soul part what it is they need. What do they need?
yes.
Sometimes it's just very simple as a hug. And if you can imagine yourself sitting next to your soul part and hugging that soul part, you're going to see the soul part begin to transition. And usually they'll become lighter,
Change and
happy. And that's when it's like, yeah, that's money. That's what we want. That's where the ease comes in.
mhm.
Hmm.
And let go of that, and the pain will go away, or the dis-ease, or whatever it is. Yeah, yeah, oftentimes true.
Hmm.
Great. That's so cool. So I was going to touch on inner child, but I think you kind of did that. So you do have something that you thought you could try with the entire group?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So I'll just kind of walk you guys through what I'm going to do. Is that okay, Mary?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So before I came in tonight, my guides were like, "Yeah, we got a little something that we can do." And so what we're going to do is we're going to get you into a meditative state, and we're going to work with different color energies. And throughout working with the different color energies, we're going to work with white, which as it's going through, it's going to illuminate where there's dense energy in the body. The next one that will come through will be green. And when that one comes through, that one will actually go through and begin exploding the dense energy. When the purple comes in at the last piece at the end, the purple will be coming through. And as the purple's coming through, this is our healing state. So light will be coming in, will be coming out, and or your guides will be coming in to assist. Angels I usually work with during the white light, so we'll have the angels help remove energetic debris and lines that aren't your guys's, because there's this strong sense that some of you are carrying a lot of energy that isn't yours. And so it's really important for you guys to like just clean it off throughout the day, especially with kind of the state that the world's in. It's probably a good idea to do it anyways. So something as simple as bringing and allowing the divine white light to come through the body to clear out your field on a daily basis, especially before bed, is probably a good plan for a bit. And so if you guys are okay with that, then I'll go ahead and get started. Mary, can you tell me, can you hear this okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Did everybody nod? If you, yeah, if you heard it, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. All right, my friends, go ahead and close your eyes.
Lovely.
And just allow yourself to begin finding your breath. And during my sessions, I will use drums, rattles, chimes, bells, whatever they say is necessary, okay? So just allowing yourself to find your breath. And as you find your breath, just allowing yourself to begin just kind of settling down, almost like a very lofty falling down into a space where you feel very comfortable and at peace. This may be a place in the mountains, or by the water, or in nature. Just know that wherever you land is perfectly fine. And that as you allow yourself to land there in that space, just allowing the Earth Mother's roots to begin coming up around you, just pulling you into the ground a bit, allowing yourself to get grounded, allowing yourself to be heavy. just allowing yourself to get out of your mind, but just get into your heart, get into the body. And as the Earth Mother is wrapping her roots around you, pressing earth into every crevice, you allow your body to get even heavier. And now just putting the focus on the top of your head. Just allowing a big ball of white light to begin coming down into the body, in through the head. And this bright white ball of energy is going to begin illuminating energy, heavy energy that you're carrying in your body. Coming in through the head, moving down into the eyes and into the face. And as this energy is coming in, Michael the Archangel coming in, cutting away any additional energy strands that don't belong to you. Just allowing him to really cut that away. But just bringing your focus while he's doing that to that white ball of light. Moving from the eyes down into the mouth and into the neck. Down into the heart space, the chest, down through the stomach, the hips, bottom, thighs, knees, ankles, and out through your feet. And when this energy makes it out through your feet, sometimes you will see like a smoky color, like smoke coming out of your feet. That's perfect. That's that dense energy you don't need. So just allowing that to continue to drain out. Bringing your attention back to the top of the head where that big ball of green energy is going to begin coming in down through the mind. And remember that this energy will be like a vacuum cleaner, expelling the dense energy that's on the surface. Coming through the head. Down to the throat. And just paying attention to where it's really condensed. Making that mental note. Coming in through the chest. Into the stomach and the intestines. Down through the hips. Moving through the legs. And the calves. Ankles. And out through the feet. And again, just allowing the energy to just move out, shoot out, but just making a mental note of it. And if they haven't already, your spirit guides will most likely begin to fall in and be able to come assist you within the next piece. These may be animals, angelic beings, plants, waters, mountains. Don't analyze, just watch and allow. Big purple energy up at the top of the head. Allowing it to come down. Repair. Remove. Down through the head. And as the purple energy is working, checking to see, are there any of your soul parts hanging out anywhere? And allowing your guides to tend to them, allowing the angels, Saint Germain, just allowing any of these guides to come in and begin repair, going down through the throat, into the heart space, down through the stomach, into the hips, the legs, and the feet, and just allowing that energy to soak into your body, allowing the guides to continue their repair, allowing the soul parts to obtain what they need. And if there are soul parts that are available, that once they are healed, allowing them to enter back into the heart space, to be a part of you. Because no matter what, we accept all pieces of ourselves, whether they were afraid or ashamed or hurt. We do not separate them. We see them, we hear them, we enlighten them, and we accept them. Just allowing that healing to take place for a moment. As you allow these pieces of yourself, or these parts of yourself, to become healed, the allowance of that to happen and to take place. Just allowing yourself to begin giving gratitude to your spirit guides and to these beautiful helpers that are assisting us to come back into harmony. And as you thank the Earth Mother, she begins to allow her roots to come back into the ground, where you will begin coming back up into your physical body, slowly but surely, knowing that a significant change has taken place within you. Just allowing your spirit to come back into your body and opening your eyes when you're ready.
My goodness. Has anyone still got their eyes closed?
Take your time coming back.
Ooh. Most of us are back. Okay. Looks like maybe we're all back now.
I hope that was
Does
helpful.
anyone have an experience that they want to share? If you do, you have to unmute, or maybe I have to do it for you.
Can I ask a question? If no one has experience, I can wait and see if anyone wants to answer that first.
Go ahead, Susie.
Well, I'm curious when you were talking earlier about the soul loss can be from something sudden and shocking. And when I was sitting right here in this spot on the Reiki share Tuesday night, I got a call from my husband that our dog was hit by a car and died. He ended up, our little puppy who's going to turn 3 on April 20th. So it feels like a huge shock because Teddy was here 1 minute and Teddy was gone the next. Like he was running to the park. He was at the school park, but he realized his favorite park was across the street, and he just started running, so happy, to go to his park, and then ran right into a car. And I'm just wondering, like, does that mean, for instance, I'm having hip replacement on Wednesday, and now I'm a little scared. Like, am I okay to do the hip replacement if I had that power loss? I mean, I just want to know, am I going to be okay with it? Is a shock. It is horrible. Feels like, we're in a nightmare, but I'm hoping you tell me I'd be okay to do my surgery without having some kind of treatment in between, because it's really busy between now and then.
Yeah, of
And
course.
wondering what the difference between what you said as shock and what's normal grief.
Right, right. And they
Yeah.
kind of go hand in hand at times, right? And so I'm curious, during that, did you happen to see yourself from last week?
Pardon me? Did
During
it?
the meditation, did you happen to see yourself from last week? Did that memory come forward?
No, I just was kind of listening, trying to, pull anything in or let go of anything that I wasn't supposed to. I didn't see that, but
Okay. Okay. So what I would suggest for you actually is do this meditation again when at your own rate with the intention that you want to identify that soul loss in particular and
okay.
that piece of yourself and bring her back into you. Just allow her space, but she also may not be ready yet too. Um, so it's like you may have to spend time with her, or do you meditate or have any kind of practice?
Oh, I do Reiki every single morning, and I listen to guided meditations before that. But, I try to do the quiet, but I'm more listening to meditations and then doing Reiki every day.
Okay. Do you have a spirit guide that you work with, honey?
The spirit guide, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So possibly with the intention, when you go into like your meditations, that you would like to obtain the soul part that has to do with that particular day, you will most likely be brought right to it. And then just allowing the healing to take place. And during that, it's very likely where a light being will come in or an animal will come in and just kind of really watch. They're saying that sometimes you can really get caught in between being analytical and trying to let go at the same time. And sometimes it's just best to almost watch it like a movie on a screen. You don't know what's happening, but you know something's happening. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You also have a lot of support for your surgery.
Oh, good. Thank
You
you.
have, yeah, you have a lot of family members actually on the other side that are very close to you, and that they're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry
Thank
about
you.
it. Yeah, don't
I
waste
need,
your energy on worry. Let's
okay.
let's focus energy because remember, guys, where we put our energy, that's where it's gonna go, right? So if we focus our energy on like, yep, it's gonna go well. I'm gonna do well. We're gonna move into trust versus worry. Okay, life's
Okay.
happening for me, not to me. Okay.
Okay, that's hard with the
Yeah,
puppy.
and they're
We
saying,
wonder how that happened to a puppy. But yeah, I want to
yeah,
believe that it's happening for me, even if I don't understand it.
yeah,
So thank you very much, and
yes,
I really
yes,
appreciate it. And
yeah,
I just really appreciate it. Yeah.
yeah. Keep
Thanks, Susie.
working at trying to separate from the analytical.
Okay, and
It'll
I
be
And I do angel Reiki with Archangel Raphael every day. I know that's not considered a spirit guide, but I do
Oh yeah.
do every day is with Archangel Raphael. So,
Oh honey, any of the archangels, any of the light beings, those are guides. If they're
oh,
working, let them work. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good.
thank you
All
very
good.
much for telling me I'm
You're,
okay. I was scared.
you're welcome, honey.
Thank
All
Hmm.
right, Diana, you're up.
Hi. Actually, I had an unexpected experience when you were doing the meditation. It actually feels like my system is actually pretty clean and almost completely healed.
Great.
Um, I give you a little context. I am a trans woman, and I've been transitioning for about a year and a half now. But I actually tried transitioning back in 2002, and that was after having a sudden awakening in August of 2001, excuse me, that I was who I was, you know. And so I'm in hearing you talk and the meditation you did with us, it almost feels like that's when I had the shift happen for me because it was a pretty, I wouldn't say it was a traumatic event, but it's just more matters like it was a shocking one. And then I just kind of, I stopped in 2002 because everyone around me rejected what I was doing. And it wasn't until late summer 23, I started opening things back up. Ironically enough, or maybe this fits in the whole context, and that is in 2024, right before I was planning the transition, I got diagnosed with prostate cancer of all things. And so it's almost like the male part of my life is diseased. And in fact, step back a little bit, a few minutes prior, I had not been to the doctor for 6 years. And when I started looking at things, I asked myself, what would Diana do? And the first thing that popped in my head was go to the doctor. And I'm very clear that if I hadn't followed that clarity, I might be in very, very bad physical condition. So like I said, to me, it's more what we did tonight feels more like, oh, you already got everything kind of, I wouldn't say handled. That's not true. But more like everything's just kind of being cleaned up and cleared up and as the way it should be. And I'm almost there 100%, if not in physical form, certainly in terms of my energy and so on. I have been told one last thing that I have very, very strong empathic and psychic abilities. I almost feel like I can read people's minds, and I'm always very attuned to what's going on with people. And when I don't do anything professionally, let's say around that, but when I tell people what I see and experience, they're like, how did you know that? How did you see that? And to me, it's all part and parcel of the package here, if you want to call it that. So, oh,
Hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, you're just allowing yourself to come into harmony.
yeah.
And the more that you're in harmony, the more that you're in tune. And you are very much in tune, my friend. You should look at doing things professionally because it would be very beneficial. And throughout your personal experience, you'd actually be able to help a lot of people, honey. So,
I've thought that. I've considered that. I mean, I feel like my life has been I've walked this very wide spectrum of experience almost no one else has because I was considered and felt very, very, very masculine. Now I feel like I'm very, very, very feminine. And it's like my body was reflected that one extreme and it's now starting to reflect the other. And yeah, so
mhm.
it sometimes amazes me that that is the case, but it's like I have a feeling I knew at an early age there was something different about me. It felt like my light shone brighter than most people and I still feel that way. And yeah, so
Yeah, hun. Herald the calling. Do your
mhm,
thing. That's the way to do it, right? This is how we help bring the world back into harmony, is by us all shining the lights that we are in our own unique way, because we all have
mhm,
our own unique gifts. So
right.
it's like the guides are like they're showing like a lot of like purity through the self, like purity, clarity, understanding. So, and they've also said that you've come a very long way internally and outwardly, and so they're commending you on that. Um, they're speaking of bravery and it being having extreme courage with moving through a lot of the obstacles that you've had to move through, and so that doesn't go unnoticed. Okay, yeah, the Earth Mother. Okay, yeah. Do you have any kind of meditative practice, honey?
No, not really, but I do qigong not every morning, but some qigong. I'm in the same Reiki group that Susie mentioned, and Mary participates in as well. I have a lot of people. My partner, you saw me kissing, maybe she's a certified Reiki practitioner, although she doesn't do anything with me per se in that regard. I just feel like all the time, like I'm just absorbing and radiating a lot of energy, and that has always drawn people to me, no matter what my form is. And now what I'm doing seems to be connecting me with more and more people who are of a higher vibration, let's say,
Yeah.
and have a higher levels of consciousness and things of that nature. And I mean, it's wonderful and glorious. I don't know what else to say. So,
Lovely. Yeah. Start a meditative practice. Start kind of dipping your toes into things like that because I think you're just going to thrive. You're going to find you have like, there's like a lot of people around you that I feel that I see energy wise. Again, it's like you're very valuable, honey. So use your gifts.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for being
There.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Thanks.
the wisdom
sure.
and the acknowledgement. So,
Sure. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Thanks, Diana. And I want to ask Turtle if she's got any experience she'd like to share, or how are you feeling after last night? You have to unmute, so I can't do that for you. There, you did it. Okay. Yeah.
So last night I had an absolutely amazing thing happen. I feel like when I got home, I also felt Kate's. And I know that Kate kind of had told me things that you tell me, Mary, and then Bre told me that I need to use my whatever, I need to step it up or something like that. But I was able to really accept everything that I learned from what Bre did. And I'm still a little bit in shock because it was such an emotional thing. I talked to some people at dinner tonight and told them about it, and they said, "Well, we don't know what you're talking about, but keep on going with it. I will keep working on it. It's just a hard thing for me again to put that much time and energy into myself. So it's just I'm working on it myself, but I'm not the kind of person that can do like what a lot of you are doing, all of you that are there. I can't really do a lot of those things, but I might be able
Yet.
at some point. So,
Yeah.
but I'm so happy that I met Bre and
Okay.
well, I have known Mary a long time and I've enjoyed my time with Kate in person and on the screen. And I hope I find more people like you all because I think I'll feel more comfortable about myself. But thank you, Mary.
You have gifts, but you need to, I think guides are telling me that you need to heal yourself first.
Yeah, that's a
And
very good point. Yes, yes.
one of the ways to do that is through meditation. If I'm not stepping on toes, Bre, I'm sorry.
Uh-uh. No, not at all. And Diane, it takes you were saying like you're not like other others, but actually you are. The sense of courage that you have is tremendous. That's power all in itself. So just know that. And now that it's things, the onion's opening, the different layers will come up. You will feel things at different times. And hey, it's okay. But just know that you are very brave. You have a ton of courage and you've done a damn good job. And so that's you've opened. And so because you've opened, that now allows healing to come in and now begin working so that peace is obtained.
There
And
you
so
go.
they're like, you need to really
Feel
honor
that.
yourself within that.
Yeah, I do feel that. At first, I thought it was just going to be a whole lot of crap falling down on my head, but it's not really like that. So I'm feeling hope.
Fantastic. Thank
Yay.
you.
Super. Anybody else? Comments? Anna.
Thanks. I have a general question. The words like power loss and soul loss, to me, they kind of convey like, well, that you're bringing energy back in, something that was, waylaid, perhaps. But I've also been kind of contemplating recently, like how you can take on, almost unknowingly, take on energy from your environment and other people. And so that to me, the dynamic is more of release and letting go. So when you're feeling just kind of off or unbalanced, like how do you know which which of the two to deal with, or does it not matter because the process is similar? Is it important to know when you're picking up? I'm speaking of this just with something in mind that happened a few weeks ago when I was in an environment that really felt very, very heavy and um I was just wondering, sometimes if I unknowingly might be picking up entities or something.
Hmm. Sure. This is actually a question that comes around a lot, right? Because we're consistently walking around in energetic fields that are bleh. And so when you do come home, you feel heavy, you feel crappy. And so one of the first things, especially if I start taking on or feeling like, what is this? I'll actually separate myself from the emotion. It's almost like being able to stop it and just allowing it to watch it and then question yourself, is this mine? Is this mine? And if it's not, then okay, I need to go in, take a shower. And something I do, cleaning energetically, if you don't do it through meditation, is through doing like a salt bath or a salt shower. You soak for 20 minutes and then you get out. And what that does is it strips the energetic field of all the debris. Okay. If you're doing a shower, you put salt in like a shower gel, create like a paste, apply it to your skin, especially the chakra centers. Same thing. Let it sit for just a moment, rinse it off. So if you've exhausted all those efforts and you're like, no, this is something deeper, then you want to start self-investigating. Because sometimes if we're around somebody who we are empathizing with or that we understand because we have that same sense of energy loss, then it will trigger it to go, oh, hey, I'm here. Can you look at me now? And then you kind of take the magnifying glass within yourself and be like, okay, if I am feeling this irritable or angry, where am I carrying this? And you allow yourself to be taken to it, either within the body or directly to the scenario. And sometimes people will disregard it and be like, oh, well, I started to see a memory of when I was 5 and this and that. And it's like, no, that's it. That's it. So it's called tracking. So you kind of track it through your body, see where it's at. And if you can't find it there, just allowing yourself to sit with it. To take it one step further, if you happen to go back to a memory and you're looking at your hands and you're looking at your body and you're like, this is definitely me, but it doesn't look like me, past life regression that's got carried into this life. So then it goes into a deeper level. And the way we kind of handle that shamanically is we would heal it on this level and then take the healing through time, clear the past life, and then it will harmonize. So it's like there's steps to it. But
So if you're like, and I don't do this mindfully enough probably, but if I'm doing energetic spiritual hygiene
yeah.
consistently daily, then it kind of, if you're still feeling off, then there might be something more.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like.
Yeah. And another thing too, if you allow yourself to just soak in divine light on a daily basis, because the key here is to raise your vibration. If your vibration is high enough, the lower frequencies, they're not going to stick. And you'll be able to kind of understand and be like, ah, this is definitely not mine. Okay, got it. Okay, so like those meditations, sometimes soaking in just white light, just high frequency light, just sitting there soaking in it for a few minutes and just allowing yourself to be in it and then go on with your day. And that's another way that you can hygiene at night too, if you wanted to do it that way. Hmm.
Great, thank you. That's helpful.
You're welcome, honey. Yeah, good. Good, good.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, we're at the witching hour, if we want to call it that. If you had been in Bre's house, you would know what we're talking about.
It's a good time.
It's so much fun. And I will be, as I said, posting a little more information about Bre's upcoming events. She lives and works from San Lorenzo, California, which is right next to Hayward, really close to Oakland. And if you're in the area or want to check her out, I'll give you the information to do that. And she has a really interesting website, lots of offerings. That's great. I really appreciate your time with us today, Bre. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so
I know
grateful. Thank
Diana,
you.
yeah, Turtle and I will be back. More work to do. And I thank you all for coming. And for next month, we're on hiatus a little bit. Travel plans and other commitments are not allowing me to hold anything on Mother's Day, which is when our event falls. So we will next meet again in June, second Sunday. And Annie Blackstone will be our guest. And she's going to talk about ancestral healing, I think, unless she changes her mind. But that's what we discussed. You know Annie. A lot of you know Annie. So anyway, so thank you very much, Bre. Really appreciate your time with us and your wisdom and sharing, as Diana had said. And it's good to get another perspective and another metaphysical modality explained and shared. Thank you. I'll say good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See you again soon. Keep the light going. Thanks.